Michael, with the pro days, I would assume a lot of these are canceled. I don't know how they would work these out, but let's just use Tua, for example. He was scheduled to throw on April 9th. All right, so another 3 weeks or so. Does that help him or hurt him if guys can't come see him play?
Well, I think it hurts them, but I mean, at least if they'll film the video, which I'm sure they will, somebody will film it. There's enough distance between the film camera and that.
Right.
We can film them, and so that works out. I mean, look, it's all going to come down for Tua to the physical. Really, the workout's not going to be as important as the physical. Is he going to be okay? Some people say he's a mess, and this is all subjective to the teams. Like, every team's going to be different on this. Some teams going to have him as a medical, some teams aren't. Remember when Reuben Foster came out, I reported he had a bad shoulder and he was dropping in the draft. Everybody said, no, he's fine. He had a bad shoulder. He dropped in the draft all the way down to San Francisco at 31. So, I think you've got to be really concerned about the medical and what your doctors say, not what every doctor says.
Now, Michael, I've heard you talk about Tua to the Skins a couple times. I know you don't think it's a lock that they take him, and I don't think so either, but can you kind of share your opinions on where you think Rivera and that coaching staff feel about Dwayne, and do you think it's still a possibility? Like, what percentage chance would you put the Skins taking Tua to?
Well, I think they got to do their due diligence on him, because here's the last thing you want to have happen is you want to pass on a guy that can be a Pro Bowl player if, in fact, he is that. You want to do your due diligence, and just because you drafted a quarterback last year doesn't mean you're happy with what your quarterback is this year. So I think they got to do their due diligence, and I think that they've got to feel really comfortable that Haskins can be the guy for the next 6, 7, 8 years. And will he mature? Will he increase his work ethic? Will he do the things necessary to be a great teammate, to be a leader? That's the concern. If your quarterback isn't the leader of the team, it's hard for the coach. Mm-hmm. And look, Ron's done a good job. Cam has leadership skills down in Carolina, Cam Newton. Cam was very good. Cam was not going to run everybody's offense, and I think Ron did a great job of figuring what he could do effectively, and he was great at it, won MVP in the league. This is really about leadership. This is about where are we going and how much are you going to be committed to doing what's right for the team.
So let's talk about Brady here for a second and Belichick. You worked with Belichick. You know him very well. And, some of these teams are signing quarterbacks, so it's kind of scratching them off the list of potential suitors. And who knows where Brady's head's at. But Tampa, I guess the report is they made a really nice offer to Brady, meaning Winston would go somewhere else. What do you think Belichick's backup plan would be? Is it Bridgewater? Is it Winston? Do you think he still wants Brady back? Where do you think his head's at?
I think his head's, look, he's got Jarrett Stidham. I think his head's always in the marketplace to find out what's going to be the value. Remember, Belichick's no different than Warren Buffett. He's looking at value. He's not paying top dollar for, look, Marcus Mariota just got huge money. The guy couldn't even keep a starting job, and the Raiders just paid him significant money. Case Keenum's making $6 million a year as a backup quarterback. I mean, Belichick's going to find value somewhere. That's what he's after. And then when he gets that value, much like Buffett, he's going to build the player back up and revamp the player in terms of taking him into his program, developing his skills within his team. So it's really the reason they're so quiet in New England right now is because there's no value out there. Now you're overpaying. I mean, this is free agency on the first day is no different for fans than going to the high-end grocery store and shopping down the middle of the aisles. I mean, the rule is stay on the out perimeter. Well, when you do free agency, you're buying toilet paper in aisle 5 at the high-end place. You're doubling how much you're overpaying by two or three times.
I can't even find toilet paper right now.
Yeah, we can't either in this little town I live in here. I live in a little beach town called Ocean City, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
And people are coming down here like it's summertime. They take a vacation.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. The town's packed. And there's, the town's not used to being packed in March.
Isn't Ocean City a dry town?
Yeah, we are dry, but you can have as much. Yeah, I mean, we'll celebrate St. Paddy's Day with social distancing here for sure.
Joined by Michael Lombardi, who's on the line on is Radio.com and Sports NFL Insider. Insider Call is brought to you by Indeed. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Since we were talking about Tom Brady, the Patriots did lose a couple of defensive players who signed elsewhere in free agency. How big of a hit are their losses of those guys on D?
Well, I think Jamie Collins was really good for the beginning of the season. I think at the end of the year, he wasn't quite the same player, and I think their whole defense wasn't the same at the end of the year. They were dominant the first 8 weeks. Their offense was never very effective all through the year, but their defense was dominant early in the season, and I think they lost it. I mean, spend $10 million a year for Jamie Collins. I mean, Detroit's, I'm not sure what they do in terms of how they evaluate and how they make decisions, but God bless them. I mean, they can do it, and hopefully maybe they'll win, and Matt can keep his job, but I don't see it. And then Kyle Van Noy is the guy that Bill, we traded for, gave up basically flop picks with Detroit, a 6 for a 6, and got Van Noy for nothing, built his career back up. Really good player. I think that Brian Flores knows what he's capable of doing. He's a move-around rusher.